with Ask the Kabala Oracle cards by Deepak Chopra. Who knew? I'm actually using this to teach me a little bit of Hebrew. On the back it says, Kabbalah is a new way of life. Now you too can be part of this lifestyle and obtain essential guidance along the way. By exploring the mystical archetypes of the Old Testament, you'll come to learn how the Kabbalah can help you deepen your life and improve your patterns of behavior. I feel like this is a very learning deck. It looks like this. That's the back. Ooh. It comes with a book if you're buying the original, which I don't think this one is mass produced in any other way, but I could be wrong. And of course it's in black and white like most of the books. We're gonna do a 1-card reading at the end, so you can kind of see how it is written. It is written. So I'm gonna go ahead and read 2 cards at a time. The visuals aren't that great. I think it's more the messages. So I'm not Aleph and Chet. I don't know if I'm gonna massacre any of these. This will be probably the quickest one we've ever reviewed because they're just symbols. Yud and Zayin. I probably shouldn't be reading these. Resh and Lamed. I know Resh has to do with Rebecca. Samech and Hech, or Hech, depending on Nun or Nun, and Dalet, Dalet. That's the thing, is I don't have anything to teach me how to read these. Tetz and Ayin. I'm guessing Ayin means eye or seeing. Let's keep that out because I want to see. Bet and Kuf. Sadiq and Mem. Peh and Kef. Shin and Gimel, or Gimel, or Sheen. And then Vav and Tav. So I'm going to do a 1-card reading. I took out a yin because there was an eye and I wanted to see if that meant anything with seeing or eye. Because it's not like these pictures really represent what the cards are. Can I get a 1-card reading for the people that made it to the end of this one? This was the shortest one because honestly, the cards don't really have a lot to look at or anything to read. So I kind of ran through these and there really aren't that many. Can I just have one, please? Resh, which is funny because that's the one that I pointed out. It's very interesting. It keeps popping up for me. Resh and Ayin. So let's go look at those. These two. It looks like a tower and Ayin. So Ayin is A, but it's not in alphabetical order. So it's a numerical order. So we're looking at 16 and 20. Okay, good thing I did that. 16, which is the number 7, and 20 is the number 2. If anybody's into all of that. This is Resh, which is the one that popped out for you guys. If you want to pause it, I would pause it and just read everything. And I'll turn the page so you can get to that part too. Yeah, Resh is Rivka, Rebecca. I remember that. It's a lot of information, so I'm not going to read it all. But I will skim over parts. This is a very educational deck. And then the last part of Resh is here. Please pause it so you can read it. And then Ayin, which I'm going to read first, is this one. Sorry, you can pause it and read it. And then these. Again, please pause it and read it. And there's one more. There's 2 more pages. There's a lot to say about Ayin. All right. So Ayin is the binding of Isaac. It's a kid that eats Chuck. I shouldn't be reading this stuff because I saw the movie Evil Dead and I'm not really trying to read out loud something I don't understand. Sorry. Then spoke Isaac to Abraham his father and said, Father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Here are the fire and the wood. But where is the lamb for the offering? And Abraham said, God will seek out for himself the lamb for the offering, my son. And then the 2 of them went together. They arrived at the place of which God had spoken to him. Abraham built the altar there and arranged the wood. He bound Isaac, his son, and he placed him on the altar on top. Oh, this is about sacrifice. This is when God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac. Isaac was 37 years old when this happened, hardly a child. Abraham and Isaac and their servants set out. Isaac was able to comply. This is basically teaching you about the Bible, the Hebrew stories. The Hebrew word ayin means eye. I thought so because there was an eye on there, right? And the letter represents not just sight, but spiritual insight, the ability to see beyond the black and white details of the moment to the larger picture. The ayin card comes out to you in times of trial and questioning. We're all tested in various ways each and every day, and we must find ways to pass those tests and trust our insight. In order to become a Kabbalist, you must learn to develop and trust your sixth sense and to see the light even in the darkness. Trust what you see both inside and out. Others may not be able to witness the cloud or glory or to understand the complexities of our daily trials, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. So I literally just skimmed everything to read you the generic comment, but there's a lot of basically the story of the Bible. Let me just give you an idea. Most of the interpretations regarding the binding of Isaac focus on the actions of Abraham, who have been previously tested 9 times by God. I always think of numbers, and who's considered the hero of the story, because he was able to pass his final test willingly, preparing himself to sacrifice his beloved son, who was born when he was 100 years old and his wife was 90. After many years of infertility and struggle, Abraham is considered the paradigm of faith, willing to give up everything he'd lived for in order to fulfill the word of God. I think Isaac became Jacob, and Jacob is the one who had the 12 sons of Israel, if I'm not mistaken, and he married Rebecca. Oh, which is Resh. What? Yeah, he had 2 wives and then 2 other women that he had children with. And of all of them, they had the 12 tribes of Israel. And of the 12 tribes, 5 were missing. And a lot of people say that you have 12 chakras, right? But they only talk about the 7, but the 5 are outside of your body. And those are the missing. So the Bible is really like a breakdown of life and everything about it. But we don't understand how to read it. There's also 12 apostles, 12 zodiac signs, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But yeah, wow. Ooh. Wow. Mind blown. So Resh is Rivka, Rebecca. Isaac and Rebecca. Wow. And when the time came for Rebecca to give birth, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first one emerged red entirely like a hairy mantle, so they named him Esau. I know this one. After that, his brother emerged with his hand, grasping the heel of Esau, so they called him Jacob. Jacob is the one who had 12 children. No. 12 tribes of Israel. No. I was right. It was Isaac and Rebekah. The lads grew up, and Esau became one who knows hunting, a man of field, but Jacob was a wholesome man, abiding in tents. Isaac loved Esau, for he ate of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. I know this story. I read this story where God told her that Jacob was going to be blessed, and then Esau was supposed to get the blessing from the father, but she did something so that Jacob got it. She like dressed him up as Esau or something like that, because God told her he was supposed to get the blessing. Anyways, something like that. The matriarch Rebekah is one of the most highly developed female characters in the Bible, and she's also one of the most powerful. Discovered at a young age by Abraham's servant Eliezer, she's recognized immediately as the destined mate for Isaac. Because of her intuitive kindness, Rebekah draws water for Eliezer, and okay, I don't want to read all this. I don't want to read all of it. You guys can read it. So let's just go to what the card means. The resh comes to those in need of clarity. Life is confusing. Usually if you see these little symbols, that's where the meaning of the card is. Life is confusing, and often many paths oh, that's so rude. Those little symbols. And often many times we go one way, but from time to time we need to make a definite binding decision. What? The resh comes to those who need clarity. Life is confusing, and often many paths compete for the taking. There is often more than one way to go. I missed a whole sentence. But from time to time we need to make definite binding decisions. Clarity need not be achieved only through prophecy. You can gain the ultimate knowledge all by yourself, but however you attain it, once something is clear in your mind, in the front of your consciousness, be careful not to waver from it. Learn from Rebekah that you can change what seems to be set in stone. Your lot in life need not be the one given to you at birth. You need only be sure of yourself, and you can become whatever you need to be. So if you want to learn the Bible more, I recommend this. If you want to learn how to read the symbols, I recommend this. If you are just asking questions and you want to read that little section that I read you, I recommend this. This is it's a very small deck. There's only 22. It's probably the smallest deck, and it's equivalent in cost or more than the other ones, but you learn from it. So that's my review of this one. I dated a guy who was Hebrew Israelite, and I learned all the stories that are in here because, you know, that was the first time I opened up the Bible for a long time. My dad kept telling me to read the Bible. I'm like, yeah. But when I dated this guy, I wanted to learn more because I wanted to understand why you would change your religion after being a certain religion for 40 plus years. And then out of nowhere, he's like, oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. So I was trying to understand why. And yeah, I still don't get it. Maybe I was like, is it because you can have multiple wives? Because I'm out of there. And I was out of there. Anyways, love you guys. If you want to leave a donation so I could buy more cards, go ahead. If you want to send me some cards because you want me to review them, or you just want to be nice and help my channel grow, you're more than welcome to. If you just want to send a donation, I use the donations to buy more tarot cards. You could look at my channel. I've reviewed so many. If you want to look at a specific deck instead of like rolling through the videos, you just click on my channel. Right? And then there's like a little eyeglass right above where the videos are. And then you can just type in the deck of cards and see if I've already done a review on it. But yeah, that's what I got for you. Bye.